Hey everybody, Mike from Texsource, and what you're looking at on my screen here is a free downloadable template that is an art template that has all of the Gen series inks within this template. Now these are assigned as spot colors that'll work for your PostScript output. And the idea is when you bring a piece of art in, is you're going to assign it from a CMYK build to a spot color. And then that way you'll be able to output your films using your PostScript device. If we look how that is in practice, I've got this job right here that is in vector. As you can see, it's full vector art. And if we select and double click on the actual art itself, it's still sitting in the RGB spectrum, which you'll find in the file menu right here. That's going to be no problem. We're just going to copy this vector art and we're going to bring it back over to this template. And the way this template is set up, it's a series of artboards. We have an artboard here that will serve as our proof, something that we'll send to our customer, something that when is approved will go out to the floor as a work order. So you can fill in all the information, the ink colors, all of that over here. And then we have our template that these red lines represent a grid that give you the drop as far as the drop off the collar, placement for left and right chest. And then we have a second one here that would be like the back. And they're even named as such. We have the proof, the front, and the back. And you can add more pages to this. This is a great place to start in organizing your art files where you keep everything into one place. So now if I paste that job and bring it into my template here, let's go ahead and align it on that artboard. We're going to make sure the front's selected and hit align. And then we can go ahead and bump it down whatever its drop is going to be. In this case, we're going to do about 2.5 inches right there. But still at this point, this would not output anything but CMYK SEPs off of PostScript RIP. And the way we know that is if we come here to our separations preview and turn that on, you see that if we start hiding colors, this is still set in cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. So what we want to do, I'm going to go ahead and just ungroup this. And now I'm going to select the blue here. Now, if I pull this out, that's all of the blue in the file. So I'm just going to hit undo. And now I can come up and choose the actual blue that I want to use, which is the Gen Series Columbia blue. So I'm going to click on that. And now you see that it is now represented in the separations preview. In fact, if I hide that, that art will disappear. So now we need to do the same with the other two colors. So let me grab this navy here. And we're going to pick a navy we have here. And we have some choices in the Gen series. We have the regular navy. We have this light navy. I'm going to go ahead and click light navy because I know what that looks like on my swatch book. And now we've got the light navy and both of these colors will disappear. Now let's get down to this last color, which is this gold color. Now you might notice that the template has a lemon yellow and it also has this other yellow. And if we click on that, that's way too light. We're not going to print that. It needs to be more of an athletic gold. So what do you do in a case like this? Well, you make another spot color for your template. And so to do that, what I'm using is a little scanner that's under $100 called the Nix Mini 3. Now this will hook up to an iPhone app or an Android app, and this will scan and give you an RGB, a lab value, and even a web hex value. And so I went ahead and scanned that out of the swatch book for the light gold that I want to print. So let's go ahead and make that color now. I'm just going to go ahead and click on this yellow swatch and then hit the plus sign in my palette. And now I'm going to rename this what this is, which is SO for super opaque, light gold, and then it has a SKU number of 18010, and it is assigned as a spot color, which is what we need. And now in the lab colors, I'm going to put the actual lab values that I got off of that scanner. Now, if you didn't have one of these little scanners, you could scan it on a regular scanner and draw the values in Photoshop from there. But this little Nix scanner is very accurate, and I really love this little scanner. So it gave me 7642, 26.53, and 79.03. Okay, so that looks just like that swatch book. It's incredibly accurate. And now that I hit OK, now you see that new swatch sitting up in there. And now I need to select that gold, and now I can actually color it that gold that we're actually going to print on the press. Now, if I group this, I like actually putting the art on this art layer here. So I'm just going to drag that up so that I can actually hide the rest of the grid lines, that just so that I can do this final test and see if I hide all of these, that they will indeed disappear. So now I know I have a clean file. It's ready to print to a PostScript printer. As I add colors that are either bucket colors that we have on the floor or common colors that we have, doesn't matter what they are, I'm going to add and save to this template. In fact, I will save this out now that I have the gold and strip this file out of here as my updated template. So every time you go to work on a job, you have all of the colors that your floor knows what to print, and you know what to assign them. So to download this file, you can go to any of our social media. Like here's our YouTube channel right here. And you'll see right here, there's our link to our website. But see this 4 more links? You're going to come down here to links, this beacons.ai Texsource. And when you click that, you're going to see all of the links that we have, all of the free files, screen printed color books. These are just different things that we talk about in our videos. But if you click on all of the free files, you're going to see the Gen Series template right here. You'll double click that, and this is the file that I just showed you. So go ahead and download that, and you'll have a nice template to work with. The last thing that I'm going to show you is back over here in Illustrator. Let's bring our template back in here now. I've got a registration mark that is built right here, and it is set to registration color. So I'm going to move that down a little bit, and I'm going to take this bottom one and move that up. And you can have your own, everybody has their own registration marks. It's pretty much a kind of a given these days that people like to have their own registration marks. But with that dialed in right there, If I wanted to output this to, let's say, an image setter and output just this only, then I will go to Save As, and I'm going to just name this the PAL logo for Police Athletic League. And I'm going to pick Illustrator EPS. And then I'm going to hit Use Artboards. But the range here, I'm just going to select number 2. Because as you see, that's the only thing that we've got going on here is this. And if I select the range and put 2 and save this, now that file will just consist of this one artboard that I saved. So that file can be dropped in your image setter RIP folder, and it'll be good to go as far as this being a 3-color job with registration marks. Now, of course, some other things that you would have wanted to do is use this template here to type in your job number, and you might add some things like that it's going on the front and the colors used in the job. But this is just a quick look at this template. Download it. It already has our gen colors and ready for you to add more as needed or as necessary.